everyone, and welcome to YouTube Tuesday, session 134, with me, Jessica Brigden of DSP Creative Cardiology. Thanks so much for joining me today. We are going to be making a couple of quick and simple cards, fast and fabulous again, using a fun layout that utilizes those scraps of designer series paper. And if you love paper like I do, then I'm sure you have a ton of scraps as well. In fact, my Country Floral Lane pack, I put all of my scraps back inside the little package here. Look at all of the scraps that I've got in here. So I'm going to show you two fun cards to use some of these Country Floral Lane scraps, and then I'm even going to show you how that works with other papers too. So I'm going to give you a teaser here of the Dainty Delights celebration paper as well. Hey Terry, hey, hello hubby. Hello everybody. All right, glad to know we've got some viewers going on here. So as you can tell, I'm all in my pretty and pink florals to go with our Country Floral Lane card class today, and I think you're gonna enjoy this. So let me go ahead and flip the camera here so that we can get started. Okay, so we'll do the quick flip there. All right, we have essentially not even a full week of January left. So head on over to the online store because you're going to want some of these gorgeous new papers. In fact, with this Country Floral Lane, unfortunately, the coordinating punch and the ribbon pack have already sold out for the season right now. So don't delay, because with the way shipping and everything is, get it while you can. All right, because as things go out of stock, Stampin' Up! Is no longer taking back orders. All right, so January host code here, 9XNXPUKG. All right, so we're going to start out with some of these gorgeous Country Floral Lane card scraps. So we are going to do a variation in Sweet Sorbet, as well as one in, I've got Petal Pink and some Mossy Meadow, and I haven't decided which card base I want to use for that yet. So you guys can help me with that one. And then I even pulled in some scraps using the Dainty Delights celebration paper. So pretty. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our Sweet Sorbet here. All right, so what is your, if you guys are watching, let me know, what is your favorite new designer series paper? We have some gorgeous ones here in our new mini catalog. And I know this just started this month, but we are already a month into celebration, so it's halfway over already. So make sure you get those orders in here. Don't wait, because I don't want you to miss out on freebies. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 12 designer series paper here in the new mini catalog. And then we've got Dainty Delights, as well as Day at the Farm, Favored Flowers. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then Dandy Designs, that's the mega pack. And then 4 more designs here in Celebration. So go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite new paper is, if you have a favorite. Oh, Terry says she likes them all. Yes, I do too. Heidi says, wow, punch is sold out. Yes, in the U.S. market, the Country Floral Lane punch that coordinates here with the stamp set and the designer series paper, punch actually sold out last week. I had a class on Saturday, of course, featuring this collection, and had to tell them, sorry, punch is no longer available, but the paper pack is still gorgeous. The stamp set is still beautiful. All right, this is the coordinating stamp set. And actually, as of this morning, the coordinating ribbon pack, the crumb cake and red ribbon pack, is now sold out too. That won't be restocked until sometime in late February. Punch will be restocked, but it's looking like mid-April right now for that. So yeah, the designs are easy enough to fussy cut. If you are, really need a heart punch, we do have a couple of options here to tide you over, because we do have our heart duo punch pack. You get the solid heart and the scalloped heart. This is in the annual catalog on page 153. And as far as ribbons go, we actually have some Real Red satin ribbon on the clearance rack right now for $3. We also have the Real Red linen ribbon. There's some great deals to be had still on the clearance rack, and a lot of it coordinates really nicely with the Country Floral Lane collection. All right, so like we said, our card base here, 5.5 by 8.5, and we'll go ahead and fold that at 4 1/4. All right, so this is going to be landscape. I want it going this way. And then we've got some basic white, cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Now I'm not going to glue that down quite yet because I want to add my layers first. So I picked these gorgeous patterns. So for this card layout, you need 2 patterns. All right, so a little bit of contrast, and it doesn't really matter the width of your paper for this. I did cut the length to 4 inches to make sure it fits here on my card front. But this little piece of scrap, this is about 3/4 of an inch, and this one it's about 3 inches. All right, so it doesn't matter. Like I said, take your scraps out of your bin, see what you have. I know I always have some that are different sizes, and that's what's nice. You can use up your scraps and just use what you have in here. You'll notice on the next card, my paper, this one's smaller. This one's not 3 inches. This one's only about 2, but that's what I had in that pattern, so it's all good. All right, so I'm going to come in about a 1/2 inch from the right, and we're going to mount the first pattern onto the front, and then we're going to take our contrasting pattern, a little piece here, and just come in and add a little stripe, just a fun little contrast on there. Isn't that cute? So we've used 2 of our patterns of designer series paper here. All right, so I am going to go ahead and adhere this on now. If you're working with scraps, sometimes you do need to like trim the ends off a little bit. So mount this right on the front here. All right, so then I'm going to do a contrasting layer. Again, I'm going to do some more Sweet Sorbet. This is 3 by 4 1/4. And so my basic white, this is my stamped panel that I'm going to stamp here. It's 1/4 of an inch smaller. So this is 2 3/4 by 4. And before we stick anything down, we want to do our stamping first. So for this one, I thought maybe we'd come in and just do some nice sentiments on here. We could really pull in just about anything. So I'm going to do, actually, let me see here. I'm going to check things out just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use our hearts and our leaves, and then I'm going to do our love that we're friends sentiment on here. And I'm going to show you how to use the Stamparatus. This particular, I know we're doing super simple. The layouts are super simple. But I'm wondering how many of you have a Stamparatus that you are afraid to use. Or how many of you don't even know what it is. All right, so our Stamparatus is a stamping apparatus. That's where that name came from. It is a stamp positioning tool. All right, and the nice thing is the plates are on hinges, so you can move them around. In here, you also get the magnets with it. There's actually 2 magnets on your Stamparatus. They actually store here on the back of your plate. Right now, I'm just going to use one. When I do classes, I try to just use one, depending on the project. Because the magnets are really, they have some super mega attraction. And if by chance you have both magnets on here and get them a little too close together, then they have a tendency to go zip and crash, and they could break. Okay, so That's why I like to just use one at a time. Has the grid already on here, but I like using, this is the Deluxe foam mat, all right, because especially when we're using photopolymer, you do need to add just a little bit of cushion in there so that you get a nice, good stamped image. And then we even have grid paper sized, Stamparatus size, or you could trim down what you have. But I like to put that in there because things do get inky sometimes. And it's nice just to have a little something on there. All right, so I'm going to show you how to go ahead. Somebody asked me at my class, Stamparatus is pretty popular, but they're like, well, how do you line the images up? So first of all, I'm going to take my heart image, is double heart. So the thing with this, the reason why you'd need the Stamparatus is because the hearts and the leaves are separate. And if you're not using the punch, then it doesn't really matter. But if you are using the punch and you want to get those hearts and leaves all spaced out properly, then you kind of need a template of sorts to do that. All right, in which case it's nice just to use punch your, let me see here, scrap. You could use a piece here. You could line up, decide exactly where you're going to want your images to go. Actually put your stamps through the template would even work. All right, so in this case, I'm deciding where I want my hearts. I want them to be centered here on my little card front. So we'll get that lined up, and then I'm going to go ahead, use the magnet, and I'm going to close plate 1. All right, so my hearts are already in place. Okay, and then I'm going to take the leaves and I'm going to put them here in my little template. All right, so make sure we didn't get out of alignment here. Okay, so put your leaves in the template and then go ahead and close plate 2 and catch those. All right, pretty cool. So now when it comes to doing this, I'm going to ink my hearts, and let's see, we are using this pattern, so we've got pink and red. So I think I'm going to do a red heart here on top. All right, so can you see that? So I'm going to use my ink, and actually if you have the little ink spots from your paper pumpkin kit, those work perfect for this. So I'm going to ink up that top heart with my sweet sorbet, and then I'm going to ink the bottom heart here with my petal pink. All right, again, just dabbing that right on top. And now I'm going to stamp them. I'm going to pull this over on here. Okay, go ahead and stamp my hearts. Okay, and then I'm going to come in. I'm going to use mint macaron for my leaves, since that's what coordinates with my paper. So we'll ink up our leaves. Okay, and don't worry if you get a little ink on your plate. That is where your chamois, I actually cut my chamois in 2 so I can have 2 little pieces. Chamois works perfect for that. Okay, so then we're going to just close this over the top. Get that perfectly in place. So now, if I had wanted to punch that, it is already in position. It would fit in my punch. I'm actually not going to use the punch today because, well, I'm not. So, but what I am going to do is I want to position this on here. And I do need just a little block here. I'm going to stamp my sentiment in sweet sorbet. All right, so what did you guys think of that? It's actually not nearly as complicated. You line your stamps up on your paper where you want them, close one plate and then the other, and then it's all ready to go. Okay, isn't that cute? So we're going to mount this onto our Sweet Sorbet cardstock here. Yes, the nice thing, the Stamparatus is $49. It doesn't go on sale, so that's why Celebration is a great time to get one of those, because you're just $1 away from getting a free Celebration item. So take advantage of that. I am going to use a little bit. I had some of this ribbon. This is actually what I have left of my ribbon pack. So this will work out perfect. I'm going to put a little ribbon here along the left. And so I'm going to go ahead and put my adhesive back here and just tape the ends behind. All right, I can go ahead and trim that off. Fold that up behind. That gives it a nice finished look. All right, and then I am going to pop this up with some dimensionals, just so it's not flat on top. All right, we'll put, let's see, 4, let's do 5 and 6 here. Okay. I want to make sure my cards stay together. All right. So peel those off. Pop this up. Oh, I got a little smudge on there. We're just going to center this inside. Got our little bow. I'm going to use a glue dot for that since it's I already had it tied. Sorry, from one of my kits. But I do have some bow videos on my YouTube as well. But stick your knot to the dot here and then go ahead and put that on there where you would like it. And since we got a smudge here, well, guess what? Embellishments cover a multitude of smudges. So I'm going to use the heart pearls. With the heart pearls, you get kind of this opaque white, you get glossy white, and then you get a solid white, and you do get kind of a small, medium, large for both of those. I don't know if I want white. Now, if you want different colored hearts, you could actually pull in your Stampin' Blends and color these. So let's see, like a small and a medium here. You could actually just take your brush tip, make sure you go all the way around here. And let's do another one, because I usually put embellishments on in 3s. Okay, so just allow that a couple seconds to dry. The blends are alcohol based, so they dry quickly. All right, and then come in with your snips or take your pick tool, whatever you've got there. We can add our little hearts right on the front of our card. All right, get that one right side up. There we go. Isn't that cute? So pretend there's no smudge there. It happens to the best of us. All right, hey Janelle, hey Polly, hello, hello. Hey Diana. All right, good. We've got a nice little group here today. Okay, so this is the first card, and we used our designer series papers, just some scraps, so it doesn't really matter the width, but you just want a couple of contrasting pieces there. Pop them on the front of your card, and then we'll do a panel for our stamping. Okay, so we did just a little bit of Stamparatus use for those hearts on the front. Of course, can't forget the inside, which I always forget the inside. So I have a second piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then a little bit of my leftover scrap of designer series paper. I'm trying to be more conscious about doing the inside of my cards because, like I said, I've got, look at all these skinny scrap pieces in here, right? So putting them, using cards like these, and then as well as using them on the inside is a great way to use up those scraps, because they better belong on cards rather than like just stuck in your like paper bin, right? So go ahead and put a little accent on here. Makes it kind of fun. And, or you could put it on the left side if you want. It doesn't really matter. All right, whatever your preference. You could even put it along the bottom. But just puts a nice little decor piece on the inside so that it's just as pretty as the outside there. Okay, so card number 2 uses the Mossy Meadow and Petal Pink colors from this Country Floral Lane. So I'm going to do this card. You guys help me decide. So let me kind of line this up for you here. We are going to do this pretty Mossy Meadow Petal Pink. And then this time I'm using the back side of the paper because I love those little hearts coming up the front. This one's only about 2 inches by 4. So we'll put this on our front here. Again, come in about a 1/2 inch from the side. All right, and then I cut this again, it's 3/4 inches. Oh, there we go, I got the red line. Okay, I think I had just enough to cover the front here. And then we'll tack this on there. So using up 2 pieces of our scraps. And then our front, we're gonna stamp. Now I do have Mossy Meadow for that. So should we do Mossy Meadow on Mossy Meadow? Or should I do the Mossy Meadow on Petal Pink? What color card base should I use for that? And I'm gonna let you guys comment while I swap out my empty tape runner there. All right, I've got a refill handy. Been getting a lot of cards lately, so I need to get some more refills ordered. I know that's not the most fun thing to order, but hey, at least if I order them during celebration, then I can get fun free stuff to go with it. All right, so I got my, all right, Diana likes the Petal Pink. Hi, Kylie, hello. All right, wow, it's unanimous. We've got Heidi, Kylie, Diana, and Janelle all are going for the Petal Pink. Hi, Kathy, so glad you made it. Better late than never. All right, so yes, we're on the second card. Actually, today we are doing 3 cards. Woohoo! All right, so Petal Pink it is. Card base here is 5.5 by 8.5. All right, I'm doing the exact same layout as our first card. Great way to use those scraps. So your basic white is 4 by 5.25. And then we layered on there a couple of our scraps of different sizes here from our Country Floral Lane collection. But like I said, you can use any designer series paper on this. All right, so this one we're going to use a Mossy Meadow and basic white. But again, for this one, I definitely wanted to show you the Stamparatus because with this stamp set, you have this large heart, but it comes in 2 parts. You have the leaves, and then you have the hearts and flowers. And you can eyeball this, you know, it's a 2-step because then the images nest inside one another. But actually, for something like this, Stamparatus is so helpful in getting those lined up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to flip my plates around. You just pull straight up here because I still have the other. I could clean those off and take them off, but this way you can see you can use multiple stamps on your plates. You just flip your plates around and you're good to go. Now for this, we're going to, again, it doesn't matter where I put my basic white, and let's just go ahead and kind of lock it in place there. So we're going to peel off, and we are going to peel out. We've got our flowers image, and then we've got the leaves image here. All right, so I'm going to put my leaf one on first because this one's just a little bit taller, and I want to make sure that it just fits. Okay, so this paper is 2 3/4 by 4. and I want that centered right in the front. So like I said, you can put your basic white anywhere you want, but once you kind of just pick a place, put your magnet down to hold it there. And then we've got our leaves positioned here. All right, that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with my plate. All right, I'm actually going to ink this up first. And a little bit of Mossy Meadow on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and fold that over, give it a nice little pressure. Isn't that cool? So pretty. All right, but instead of just eyeballing this, I'm actually going to take my physical stamp and I'm going to move it around on here because that way I can see, yes, I can see where I want it. You can move it if you need to. All right, now that I've got that positioned where I want it without any ink yet, all right, so just go ahead and eyeball that. You can move it around. It's a great thing with photopolymer is that you can see exactly what you're doing. When you've got it where you want it, close your plate over to pick it up. And then we're going to come in with our petal pink ink here. I know it's a little bit hard to see on camera with the clear plates. We're going to use our petal pink on this now. And then pull it over. All right, press it into place. Firm pressure. And then look at that. It's gorgeous. All right, so you'll notice the design of the stamp. It is kind of a folk art. They're not solid. So if it's a little spotty, that's okay. If you don't like that, go ahead, just add some more ink. That's the great thing about the Stamparatus, is if it doesn't come out quite how you wanted it, or if you want to make it a little darker, go ahead, add a little more ink, and then just close it back over because it's going to stamp in the exact same place. Okay, so that made it just a little bit darker there, a little more solid. Yeah, looks fantastic. And then that's the great thing. You can leave that set up. So if you wanted to do some more, again, come in. Now, I didn't marker. If you were going to do a whole bunch, you might want to mark on your grid paper, kind of draw, you know, some corner markers so that you can put your paper right in. What I like to do, and it works out just fine, just bring your paper in, then eyeball it, okay? Don't close this all the way, but eyeball it and say, okay, that looks good. I could move it a little to the left, a little up, okay? Put it where you know you want it, then put your magnet down, okay? So that's one way to do it without having to mark exactly where you're going. But if you are going to do a whole bunch of them, it is handy just to take your pen or a little washi tape or something and go ahead and mark on there. And then again, to clean these up, just take your Stampin' chamois here. All right, you can wipe all over on this. Chamois works perfect for cleaning this stuff up. And then you can just peel them back off and put them in your stamp case. All right, so there is your Stamparatus tutorial for today. It works perfect with stamp sets. Two-step stamping like the country bouquet here. All right, but you can do the two-step as well while you're at it if you're in the dancing mood. Okay, so yes, I love that heart with the leaves, really pretty. Do we want a sentiment for this one? How about with love? That would be nice and go right over here, and that could be used for any occasion. I know I've got some winter anniversaries coming up here, and so with love would work for those. And I'm going to do that in my Mossy Meadow here. And just stamp that over here on the edge. Okay, yes, beautiful. All right, so adhere this to our Mossy Meadow layer. And then if you want to do a little ribbon, so right now, if you want, we've got a couple different ribbon options. So in the annual catalog, there is this pink, petal pink, kind of a suede ribbon, which is, 3/8 inches. It's a nice sturdy ribbon. It's got some fun texture to it. In the clearance rack, we actually have the cotton ribbon combo pack. This is from last year's spring catalog. So this is petal pink at the 1/16th, and then, or excuse me, 1/8. And then it also has the Misty Moonlight. All right, Misty Moonlight is retired, but I know it was one of everybody's favorite colors. So we have a nice little skinny ribbon for that. Or I do still have some of this Mossy Meadow braided linen trim. This was on the clearance rack for quite a while, and I really love this stuff. So what do you guys think? Should I go with Mossy Meadow or Petal Pink? And if you say Petal Pink, should it be the wider or the skinnier? Okay. Wendy says she's trying to convince herself she doesn't need this bundle and it's not working. Yes, it's a fun one. And if, Wendy, you're in the UK, so I think you're punched. You can actually still get the bundle in the US. Right now, you can order the stamp set, but you have to wait on the punch. So if that makes it a little easier for anybody. All right, Heidi likes the wider pink. Terry likes the skinny. Nessa, I see that there is a bot on here. If somebody can report the bot, I think you just, somehow there's a way to report it because I can't do anything about it while I'm on here because I'm just on my phone. All right. Oh, Wendy likes both. All right, so Heidi likes the wide. Terry likes the skinny. Kathy likes the wide. All right, thank you, Terry, for reporting the bot there. All right, so I think we need one more. Okay, thank you guys for reporting and blocking the bot. Hey, that means we're doing something right, right? means we have enough viewers going on to warrant a stupid bot. Okay, so let's see. We've got 2 votes for the wide petal pink ribbon and then 1 for the skinny. All right, so it looks like the wide petal pink it is. All right, thank you everybody for helping me out with the ribbon and the bot there. All right, should take care of that. So we're going to cut our ribbon just a little bit wider here again than our panel. Go ahead and put a little adhesive here where your ribbon ends are going to tack down. Okay, we'll just fold this over the edge here. Okay, looks good. Then we'll use our dimensionals. Again, for a panel this size, I like to use 6. I always go in little triangle formation with my dimensionals, just so I have even coverage across the card. Okay. All right, so we will place this on the front here. Okay, looks like we're spaced evenly. All right, this ribbon's a little bit wider and I don't want my bow to be too chunky in the envelope. So I'm going to just slide this underneath the first piece. That's another advantage of tacking the ends to the back, is that you then don't need adhesive under the ribbon itself, allowing you to slide your second piece under. And we're just going to tie a simple knot on the front, pull that nice and tight, and then we'll trim it up here with our ribbon shears. And if you feel like it's a little too wobbly, you can always come in with your glue dots. Again, don't pick the dot, but use your snips or take your pick tool to pick up the dot and then gently place it underneath your knot. All right, that's my tip for for glue dots. All right. Okay, so this looks really pretty. Again, I think some of these little heart pearls are just the perfect little touch for this, and I kind of like the glossy for this, the pearlized. So I'm going to come in here and add just a couple. You do have to make sure they're right side up here. Whoops. You know what? You could actually, we could put them right on our heart. Let's do another one. One big one and two littles. Let's do one right over here. I'll just place it on the stamped image. I think that's kind of cool. All right, so we have our 3 hearts there. And then for the inside, again, we've got our basic white and our little scrap here to coordinate with the front. It's about 3/4 by 4. So we'll tack this inside. And then, oh, that side's cute too. I like them both, but I think I'm going to do the green. So what do you guys think? So I put this one on the right. Do you guys prefer right or left if you're decorating the insides of your cards? Ah, the bot is back. Oh my goodness. All right, so what do you guys think? Left side or right side? Here, I'll go like this so that it makes sense. Left or right? What do you guys think? Let me know if you have a preference to left or right for decorating. All right, Kathy says she usually likes hers on the left side. All right, let's go ahead and do that. And yes, I usually put it right up against the edge, but you know, I think I'm going to space it just a little bit because I think that looks kind of cool too. Just having a little bit of the white there gives it a little more detail. All right, kind of cool. All right, so those are the Country Floral Lane cards. Really pretty, huh? What do you guys think? All right, Heidi agreed on the left. So yeah, I think that worked out nicely. And then you could always, because we got the flowers on the front, let's just finish this one up. Take this cute little bouquet stamp and let's do some petal pink ink. And look at that. Perfect. Isn't that cute? All right, that one is finished. All right, so I wanted to show you guys briefly how you could use this with any papers. And I know that the Dainty Delights celebration paper has been one of the most popular. All right, and it's gorgeous. What can I say? These papers are so beautiful. And they get free with a $50 purchase. I love that. All right, so I've chosen to use this gorgeous small wildflower pattern. And then I've picked this other pattern. This is more of the fresh freesia and the raspberry, but this one had this nice little starry sky kind of lattice rickrack work. So I thought those two would contrast nicely. So we're going to go with starry sky on this one. When I did the cards last week, I used fresh freesia and rich raspberry, but starry sky is a really nice bold choice that coordinates with this paper pack as well. So again, that was a 5.5 by 8.5. Then we have our basic white, that's 4 by 5.25. And then some of this I think I did cut to, what did I do? I did 2.5 inches on this. So all three have a little bit different size. So that shows whatever size your scraps are, you can work with it. All right, it does not matter for this card layout. So this one is 2.5 inches by 4. And we're going to mount these. You know, I'm going to change it up just a little bit too. We've done these on the right. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the left. So you can use the same layout and just change it up just a little bit. This one, again, is about 3/4. It's a little skinnier than that, by 4. And we'll add this here. along the edge. Okay. And then these are for the inside. Set those up there. All right, so our panels here. Now I was pulling in my Dainty Delight stamp set, and I think it'd be nice to use that Sending Love. So I was toying with if I do Sending Love here, kind of in the middle, then I could use this little stamp and do kind of a little bouquet, kind of frame it in. What do you guys think? Or do you prefer one of the larger flower stamps on here that could kind of go? This one could go. I am going to do a little bit of ribbon. So if we were doing those, then if I pulled this one in, this could go kind of along the right, kind of like a rose trellis. How about that? How about we do that? Okay, so I'm going to stamp my sentiment first, so I make sure I leave room for that. I'm using the Starry Sky. I know this looks crooked because nothing's glued down yet. We're going to go right here in the center. Okay, came out nicely. And then I'm going to, I should have brought a larger block in with me, but let's grab a little scrap to stick under this. All right, so I'm going to partially ink up here my flower stamp. And then stamp this just here on the lower portion. That's so pretty. Okay, I think that'll work. And then we can go ahead and mount this onto our Starry Sky layer. Again, this is 2 3/4 by 4, and the layer is 3 by 4 1/4. And then comes a Starry Sky. I had just enough, actually my spool unrolled, I have just enough Starry Sky of the metallic in color ribbon here. If I find the end, then this will work. Skinny little piece here. Again, let's tack a little bit of adhesive to tack the ends down. Okay, pull that nice and tight. Oop, I didn't stick it. Okay, nice and tight. There we go. All right, we'll stick this piece down. And then put our dimensionals on this piece. Okay. And then 2 in the middle for good measure. Okay. Okay. Then right here on the front. Okay, looks like we're spaced evenly, and after all that, looks like you are going to get a little bow tutorial. Anyways, because I think this one definitely needs a little bow. So since I can't put my toaster tongs between my knees right now to do this, I'm going to use my handy little bow maker from Carmen. Thank you. So we'll wrap around the pegs, bring the back side over the front. Hold that tight, tuck it through the middle, comes up over the top, and then we will knot the ends together. Trim that off. Gently pull that off. So cute. And then pull in our glue dots. Again, stick the knot to the dot. That worked out. Stuck to my finger. And we'll go right here onto our card front, I think I'm going to use that skinny ribbon, kind of moves around a little bit. So we'll use another glue dot here just to add some little extra security. Make sure that doesn't go anywhere. I don't like it flopping around. Okay. And oh, and then for this one, because if you're using the Dainty Delights, then your card is not complete unless you add a sweet little dragonfly trinket. Love those. All right, if you watched my last video, the dragonfly trinkets are hiding in the new mini catalog. They're gorgeous. Okay, again, stick a dragonfly to the dot. And then, let's see, where do we want this flying? How about right over here? Just kind of zip it around the flowers a little bit. So pretty. I love that. Now you could leave it like that. You could come in, let's come in maybe with our we did Starry Sky. I'm going to come in with my Orchid Oasis, so it's just a little bit lighter. And add a little color. All right, you could leave it plain because the stamp is so pretty that it really doesn't need a lot. But I think just a little bit of Orchid Oasis. And then I actually think I might do the leaves on here too, just to pick up some of those colors from the Designer Series paper. I'm gonna go a little darker there in the center. Okay, and then what do we need? We need Old Olive. What do I have here? Yes, okay, good. Got my Old Olive handy. Just a little bit of light Old Olive on those leaves, right under the flower petals. Ah, so pretty. All right, very sweet, very simple. And then, of course, finish off the inside with your basic white panel. And then, all right, consensus last time just going to be left. All right, so this is the same skinny piece from the large panel. And we'll just add a little bit of that right in here. Really, really cute. And you know what, let's stamp that flower on the inside too, because I just can't get enough of this. This is my favorite image from this set. But I'm just gonna come in here on the end. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, just the end. Love that. All right. So what do you guys think? All right, so we did our layout here with our Country Floral Lane, but then we also pulled in with a little bit of our Dainty Delights here. All right, checking everything out. I know, Heidi, I love Starry Sky. It is such a pretty, it's a bluish purple. That and the Orchid Oasis, just, they work so nice. Okay. Oh, Terry, about the bow, make it look easy. Yes. Yes, one of my viewers here, Carmen, gifted me that, and then I actually had another one gifted to me from a team member, Mary Ann. But if you don't have a fancy bow maker, what I've used for the longest time actually is my toaster tongs. Now in the US, these were the Pampered Chef original small toaster tongs. I've had these so long, I'm not sure if Pampered Chef still has these or not. But I know Lodge Cast Iron for like camping also had some in some larger sizes, So that works too. But basically you need, or even just borrow, if you have a friend, borrow your hubby, have him make a peace sign, and you can wrap your ribbon. You can wrap your ribbon around that too, okay? So the concept is the same. I do not recommend a meat fork. I know that sounds funny, but I was desperate at one time and I needed something with 2 prongs, so I grabbed my meat fork. But trust me, those tines on the fork, a little sharp, and so I would not recommend that. But yes, whatever you hand, we can make use of what you've got on hand. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. I know we've gone a little long today, so if you've got to run, I understand. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell as well so that you receive a free notification of when my videos are coming out Tuesdays at 3 p.m. and then on Facebook Friday at 3 p.m. and then uploaded here to YouTube. All right, so you can catch me twice a week. We might have a bonus video this week because my Creative Cardiology Team blog hop is coming up Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well. Thank you guys so much. Yes, I hope you find this helpful to use some of those little scraps that collect in the bottom of your paper packs there. Make some pretty cards, and don't forget to decorate the inside as well. All right, happy stamping to you all. Have a great week. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.